Found a way to connect to the internet. Welcome to the QAA podcast, episode 358, Trapped on Epstein Planet. As always, we are your hosts, Jake Rockatansky,
Julian Field,
Liv Akar,
and Travis View.
It was all of our favorites. It wasn't just some.
It was. Some of our faves were implicated.
Some of our faves, but less of our faves than I initially thought. I don't know.
Oh, yeah? You already knew the Dalai Lama?
I'm going to be honest. I haven't read too much of the Epstein. A friend showed me threads over the weekend, and it scared me so much that that's all I've been able to think about is how that's a platform that was like out of it wasn't even in my sort of peripheral vision, and now I'm obsessed with it. So
what's amazing is that you can hear Jake say that, and he is not referencing the movie Threads. He is referencing the platform.
Wait, what movie? What movie Threads?
Oh, if you want to be even more scared, go ahead and watch that too.
Okay.
Thank you, Julian, for bringing me just leaving one last little gift under the tree to push me slightly further over the edge.
Yeah, it's a 1984 movie. Yeah, interesting. Worth watching.
Okay. Well.
So, yeah, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which was passed last November, required the Department of Justice to release all of their Epstein-related files, with a few exceptions, on December 19th. It did not.
The Epstein Brackish Water Act.
Yeah, the Epstein Slightly Cloudy Act. Now, there was only a partial release on that date, and we covered what was released on a previous episode. But on January 30th, the DOJ released 3.5 million pages of documents, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images related to Epstein. Now, the Department of Justice actually said that they have over 6 million potentially Epstein-related pages, but the remaining 2.5 million pages are still withheld for various exceptions. So unless Congress steps in and does something to reveal more of the documents or additional information is released through FOIA requests and lawsuits, then this is basically it. So what was just released and what everybody's going crazy for, this is what we're going to see from the government in terms of what they know about Epstein.
They've really done a great job. I think one lawyer counted 500 appearances of the victim they represent's name unredacted throughout. So that's really good to not redact that, but just to make sure that, all of the rich people, I don't know if there's many slip-ups in redactions that are directly, implicating people 500 times.
Yeah, something this sensitive, this really is the best administration, I think, to handle a release like this. I wouldn't have trusted governments in the last 30 years to have handled this well, but the searchable database, I mean, they're doing a lot right.
Yeah. I loved, it's like just as an extra sort of like bit of humor. It's like when you go and search the Epstein documents or you access them on the FBI website, it asks whether or not you're over 18.
Yeah. Because if you're under, it sends you to this other cool website where you can sign up for a retreat.
I'm just glad they didn't include the wheel where I have to scroll down all the way to the early 80s to find my birth year.
Yeah. I hear Travis is in the files somehow.
Yeah, it's true. It's like I was searching through them out of curiosity. I searched my own name, and apparently the FBI had an old Atlantic article that I was quoted in, so Travis View appears one time in the new release of the Epstein Files.
I think you should be more ashamed of being quoted by the Atlantic than appearing in the Epstein Files. Not that there's too much of a distinction in organizational structure there.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this. We're definitely all on some kind of list, right? Even Corey.
Yeah.
Come on, dude, don't. You mean Jorge Klotz from Beijing?
Yeah. Well, he's definitely on a list. Him and his 5 brothers.
Yeah, him and Ai Weiwei are currently teaming together to rehabilitate the Chinese government's image by having Ai Weiwei be like Germany's worst. This place rocks. Actually, I apologize.
But I'm being serious. Like we're all probably on some kind of list, right?
Jake, we're all on a lot of different lists. There's publicly available lists that we're on.
I don't mean email lists for like Patrick Ewing's
You're
basketball
on the
shoes.
list of microtransaction whales for like almost every like
What?
gaming platform.
What?
On the Raid Shadow Legends list.
Yeah, they hit you up first.
You know, I've been looking for a good mobile game, and with the amount that Liv makes fun of Raid Shadow Legends, I like hovered over it the other night in the Android store, and I was like, do I dare? So many people, 6.5 million people, 10 million downloads can't be wrong. Like maybe Raid Shadow Legends is all it's cracked up to be.
It's a gambling website where you can like, instead of actually winning real money, the things that you win, you can like watch them fight. You press the play button and then it fights for you. Like you don't even fight yourself.
Wait a minute,
It's
wait a minute.
incredible. It is just like pure gambling addiction profit.
What were those? The spinning tops that would fight each other in the ring? Is it Ninjago?
Yes, Robo Rock or whatever.
Something. Rock 'em
Rock
Sock 'em.
and
Talking about
Robo. You
Beyblades?
brought this up at least 3 times, I think, on this podcast, and my memory is full of holes.
Look, when I don't have anything to say or like something decent to contribute, my
Robots?
brain goes back to toys I didn't get for Hanukkah, okay? But that I was aware of commercials for.
5 minutes into the Jeffrey Epstein episode, we're talking about rocking robots.
I've got bad news for you, Jake, and this is related. I'm going to try to rope things back in.
Yeah.
So, you know, Jake, how much you love microtransactions, right?
I don't love them, but unfortunately, with the games I play, they are a necessity.
What if I told you that in 2013, the man who would later pioneer many of the microtransactions that you do not like was chatting with Jeffrey Epstein about microtransactions? Specifically, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of the famed Activision. Jakey?
I thought for a second it was Gabe Newell, and my heart was like crushed.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
that one's
it's
too
not.
bad.
It wasn't Gabe.
Yeah, well,
Bobby
but
Kotick,
now Liv
Jake.
is relieved and my heart is crushed because on my PlayStation I have some sort of setting enabled. I don't know how to turn it off. Where I have to enter my password every time I want to buy something, and I have all these memories of entering that password over and over and over and over again to try to get like the Daryl Dixon skin on Black Ops 4 and 6.
Okay. Oh, that's it?
That's the whole okay.
That's the
Okay,
whole game.
It is interesting, like a lot of the files, it seems like Epstein just like his motivation is just to make the world worse. He's just got the Mossad whispering in his ear, like, no, we want more microtransactions. Like, let's get like stake.com. I'm sure he's involved in stake.com and it's really somehow.
Yeah. No, it's incredible to realize that like at every foundational moment, and we'll get into, you know, the poll board and 4chan in a bit, but like learning that if you just take a picture from history and you basically Photoshop Jeffrey Epstein in, there's a good chance that you're correct. Like the 2008, you know, collapse. He was there with like the monkeys at the monolith at the beginning of 2001. Like he's been around. Like he might be Bob.
Dude, it would be so fucking awesome if you guys like learned how to use tools and shit.
I think he is like David Lynch's Bob, and it's sad that Lynch had to pass away before realizing that there was a face that he could have given Bob, a permanent face. Honestly, he didn't pick too bad with Palmer's father.
So, I mean, I was pretty skeptical that any new releases of Epstein documents would happen at all, but they are pretty illuminating in some sense. They shed new light on Epstein's network and his interactions with powerful associates. But I think it's ultimately kind of unsatisfying in a way that's only going to make people more insane.
I mean, yes, it will, but also I think like at this point, unless you're, you know, kind of willingly thick, the Mossad claims are incredibly valid. You know, American intel as well. You know, there's just too much chatter. There's too much involvement. There's too much openly stating it, you know, in people's claims of conversations that have been had. And I think it's interesting that after all this time, we finally learned the word that they use for assassination or getting rid of somebody. And guess what, folks? It's whoops. It appears several times, and he references it as like a kind of known word among people where it's like, get rid of this guy. Yeah, this is going to be a whoops or something like that. So,
As in like, whoops, I fucked up and said something I shouldn't have and got myself
whoops,
killed?
Whoops. Looks like somebody got...
Yeah, he says whoops a lot. I mean, it's like, I think he's just like, you know, a weird
No,
dumb
he
guy.
literally references it. A person writes him and says, you have my permission to kill him.
We're going to get into that, yeah.
Okay, and then he's like, yeah, this sounds like a whoops.
Well, why would they code it if they're also talking about killing it?
No, but they're not, because they're not coding it. It's literally just what like their little fucking funny word for it.
Oh, it's
like they
like a
probably
I
look at
don't-
each other, hey,
come
did you
on.
hear what happened to blah, blah, blah? Whoops.
You're saying they're dabbing on us, basically. It's
Yes!
funny.
Yeah, I think
Not on
Julian,
us,
I think
just-
Julian's right. I think this does make the most sense. It's like a little emote they do after they murder somebody.
Yeah, it's like if it's like if you find out like, all the worst people in the world are using like crude onomatopoeia to reference stuff that in the past you would have loved to hear names like targeted assassination. Instead they're like, whoops. Hey, Fred Hampton got whoopsed in his bed.
Yeah, Epstein's like,
It's a new unalive. I think that Gen Z can learn from it.
got whoopsed.
I don't think that Gen Z can learn anything from Jeffrey Epstein. That's my official position. It may be different than Julian's.
What, you've learned enough?
He was like trying to do the Jewish version of whacked. He was like, he would like, what would my version be? Whoops. Oh yeah. That's big. It's like when my Safta dropped a whole tray of brisket onto the floor. She went, whoops, hold on a minute, and then put it back onto the tray and served it.
Instead of the Clinton body count, it's the Epstein whoops list.
Yeah, it's the whoopsie doodle popsicle pill.
They really do think we're children. We are their children.
But we are. Yeah, this has turned me into a child.
We are their satanic spawn. We're like the cattle to these people's like satanic endeavors.
Yeah, and I just want to start with the most, I think, relevant revelations from the new dump is that like this was like an industrial scale kind of like abuse and exploitation system. The files reveal a lot more details about the mechanics of Epstein's trafficking operation. Now, according to FBI interviews, these 302 forums, Ghislaine Maxwell handled many of like the travel arrangements and many times even helping procure passports or visas for girls who needed them to travel internationally for Epstein. As was reported many years before, the use of like modeling or massage was used for fronts. Epstein associate Jean-Luc Brunel ran a modeling agency that supplied girls under the pretense of legitimate modeling contracts. Brunel, who was later arrested in France but died in custody in 2022, appears...
I'm just going to say it every time now.
Yeah.
This is going to replace the beep. This has to replace the beep thread.
Yes. You never have to beat me again, Corey. I'll just say that I'd love to whoops all these guys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, Brunel, as was reported before, he really is a key middleman for Epstein. In one case, a 70-year-old victim in New York said she was approached outside her dance studio by a recruiter invited to provide dance-based fitness sessions to Epstein, only for those encounters to turn into sexual massages that continued for years. Epstein paid her after each encounter and directed her life in various ways, even encouraging her to bring in other young dancers to meet him. It was it's a pyramid scam of abuse.
This is literally the recruitment scheme for underage girls that happens in Twin Peaks at the casino or whatever.
Lynch again.
Yeah.
Lynch again, just like pointing his weird fucking transcendental meditation finger at the shape of what things are and not quite being able to put his finger on it because, he's on the astral plane. But I think he's above, nodding sagely.
Yeah, Lynch also crouched in the bushes videotaping the scene at Bohemian Grove, but used what he learned much smarter than the other guy who was there.
Now, I think most prominently, there's lots of hundreds of friendly messages in 2019 between Epstein and former White House chief strategist to President Trump, Steve Bannon. They talked about everything. They were close. They talked about politics and travel and a documentary project to rehabilitate Epstein's image.
I found that conversation that is now leaked online, nearly 2 hours, I think, of them conversing, so interesting because it's so clear that Bannon thinks Epstein's a fucking moron. He keeps having to be no, but we need specifics. How did the derivatives affect this and domino the markets? And then every time Epstein's just going back to well, I mean, it's if you're a doctor, the body can hurt, but then the lung and the heart, and then and they're trying to he's trying to get him back on track. No, specifically what were your conversations with people within Lehman's Brothers and Bear Stearns? And then he also has to keep telling him, by your own accounts, you're smarter than every person in the world, mathematicians, economists, and you're telling me you can't even give me a straight answer. And I mean, the bottom line is so telling because he finally just goes, well, no, nobody understands it. Nobody understands the market.
I did find the Bannon Epstein stuff fascinating. First, insofar as it shows how much of an idiot Bannon was, that he's on the Epstein rehabilitation train. Not even just the moral wrongness of being close personal friends with Epstein, but thinking that he could rehabilitate Epstein's image in 2019. Then also just how much Epstein probably felt like he was completely untouchable, and also how much of a narcissist he was. that he was like, yeah, I want people to like me, and we're going to do like a liberal media run, and everyone's going to think I'm cool again.
I'm not convinced that this kind of story about what Bannon was doing about rehabilitation was true. I have a feeling that's just what he told him so that he could get him to talk for hours, because when he kind of like presses him, he's not pressing him in a way that seems to lead to flattery. It's really, he does seem to be trying to get information out of him. I don't know. It's a fascinating conversation, and I don't know. I don't fully buy the rehabilitation thing. I think he was working on some idea of a documentary that was going to be wider than Epstein, but it's a bit like, you know, I mean, this is very common with documentarians dealing with like subjects that they know, like suspect that they will be portrayed badly, or it could be easily portrayed that way. They really like make them feel like, no, this is about you, and you're, you know, you have a part in this, you have some control in this. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not fully on the train there yet.
Yeah, in one March 2019 text, Bannon asked Epstein to use Epstein's private jet to pick him up in Rome. Epstein later joked to Bannon, "Now you can understand why Trump wakes up in the middle of the night sweating when he hears you and I are friends." Oh, they're friends.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but even the way he talks about Trump, you could tell that it's like they fucking
they all hate him,
they don't like him. Yeah, they're forced to kind of interact with him, but they all think he sucks.
There's that like passage where he says the idea of him running around in his undies, like in my mansion, like is not a fun like thought, but they do still know they need to keep him like properly blackmailed and on a leash, so they have to put up with like this doo-doo smelling dork who walks into fucking like giant like windows on his way to the underage women. Oh God.
Now, the release includes hours of interviews between Bannon and Epstein as part of that documentary project. In one strange clip, Bannon asks Epstein if he's the devil.
What are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
the lowest.
I'm the lowest. Your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
I'm sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember, the devil is somebody
the
knows.
Smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie.
Dude, it's honestly, it's like watching like a person having like a meth psychosis attempt to interact with like a guy who has CTE. It's really fucking cool. It's like, you're talking to a Jewish person. Even if he did believe he was the devil, you're in the wrong cosmology, dumbass. And also very funny that Bannon just wants that hard open. Do you think you're the devil? I got a good mirror. Or some shit. Like, they're all just dorks.
Yeah, Bannon is the kind of guy who's like, we got to videotape something for the Stinger trailer. Like, he's a guy who videotapes something being like knowing full well that he wants it in the trailer. I had no idea Epstein had such a thick New York accent.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking me up. Oh, I saw that film. What was he talking about, Constantine?
Maybe.
Ay, ay, ay.
In fairness, there was bipartisan communication with Epstein. Epstein was also in contact with Kathy Rumler, a former Obama White House counsel. He emailed her with numerous typos, which is characteristic. Insane typing style, this guy. Just weird spacing and adding weird symbols in strange places. It's very strange.
I guarantee you he's the type of guy that was like, dude, I don't even fucking correct my spelling.
He had advanced like copy of the Minority Report technology where you can kind of type in space, but when you're so busy like fiddling with other things, then it's hard. You know, you end up making all these kind of errors.
Jeffrey, really? You just like send out emails like that? But you're like emailing with like Bill Gates and presidents, kings and queens. He's like, dude, that's the fucking dope part about it. Is like, fuck them. Like, read my fucking circumflex, you know, read my fucking accent aigu 3 times in between a sentence. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. You know, like fucking, dude, I just fucking type what I want and they have to fucking make sense of it. That's how fucking baller I am.
Yeah. He's watching like the Mossad like language monitor, and he's like using different words because he's like watching them pop up or not pop up. He's like, oh, if I put 2 commas here, then like the monitor that I have like a closed loop feedback on doesn't flag it.
He's like, fucking, dude, if you fucking flip the iPad fucking sideways, dude, my shit looks like the fucking Matrix.
Epstein emailed Rumler that Democrats should ease up on painting Trump as a mafia-type figure. Rumler says that she only knew Epstein professionally and, quote, regrets ever knowing him. I bet they all do now.
Yeah. A few people with regrets today.
Epstein's circle extended into sports ownership in Hollywood. For example, emails indicate that Epstein acted as a fixer for Steve Tisch, who is a Hollywood producer and co-owner of the NFL team, the New York Giants. In one exchange, Tisch asks Epstein to set him up with a woman, messaging Epstein with lines like, "Is she fun?" and once saying, "Is my present in NYC?" in reference to a woman Epstein apparently arranged for him.
Yeah. No, it's very cool.
I mean, it's like I didn't think that they would like straight up like put like strong evidence of real crimes from famous, powerful people in this release. So, I mean, I guess kudos for that.
Nothing will make your heart drop further than sent from BlackBerry or sent from iPhone at the bottom of each one of these.
You can see why Epstein thought he was untouchable. He's like, I got emails arranging pedophilia for all of these people. Like, you think they're going to touch me?
Another prominent name is Casey Wasserman, a sports agent executive and chairman of the LA 2028 Olympics Committee. So if you are a gymnast attempting the Olympics this coming 2028, look out.
Look out for what, Travis?
Look out for a shadily connected.
Look out. It turns out your structure is also run by pedophiles.
Look out because this sports competition is being arranged by an Epstein associate.
Everyone is implicated. You're president. Who cares about the stupid Olympics? Every single one of these people from years ago, decades ago, has controlled us and our destiny, Travis, and they were all pedophiles. And I remember the epic and cool words that you once said. It's not ideal that the world's being run by a secret cabal of pedophiles.
Travis,
No.
if these motherfuckers are the guys who sat in a dark room and decided that I have to pay $50 every time I want to take a level 60 basketball player in NBA 2K to just level 85, not even going to 99, I think it's like 150. It might be $200 per build.
Yeah.
But just to go from 60, just to make a fucking buck, just to be competitive, I gotta pay 50 to get to 85. Oh, I want the season pass? That's another $19. Actually, it's another $19.99. But what about the pro?
And people, by the way, they've been saying focus on the victims, and this is what we mean. Right, Jake?
You know, I almost did a story for this episode. It's been 7 years, almost exactly. The Epstein Hawking story premiered in February of 2019. And I almost did a sequel, but I was like, no, this is too bad. Like, this is serious shit. Like, these guys, these monsters fucking tortured, people for decades and decades. Like, this shouldn't be made light of. I'm not going to do another Stephen Hawking impression. Those were different days.
They were different days.
Those were worse days, and I regret doing that, and I didn't want to make that mistake again. And yet here I am complaining about spending $150 to potentially $750 on a virtual basketball player who, by the way, still sucks. I still suck at the game. It doesn't even make me better at the game. I'm still losing. I'm still throwing air balls, getting the ball swiped.
You could probably hit up Noam Chomsky and ask him like what the kind of implications are for the power structures and how communism should not feature in it.
I mean, does he play a big man? Because that's really what we need. I'm so sorry, Travis, please.
The files include flirtatious 2003 emails between Casey Wasserman and Ghislaine Maxwell discussing real estate and massages. Maxwell joked about knowing a few spots that apparently drive a man wild and offered to practice them on Wasserman. Wasserman replied about his desires, including, quote, you, me, and not much else.
He had a desire for himself. It's like you and me. Like
the desire was a situation. You, me, and not much else, I guess.
It'd be hotter if he had written nothing else. What much? What's the much?
These people are terrible. I mean, any sex that like becomes blasted into the, public information is going to be embarrassing. But there's no way that these people are going to be like, oh, that was actually really, the way that she described, the way that Ghislaine Maxwell described having sex with a guy was so eloquent. Like, there's no way.
I came away knowing a lot more.
This is a type of guy that I really love because it's like he's clearly involved, like in the kind of Epstein cabal, but he is so stupid that he is like spending all his time while all the boys are filing past him into the the underage brothel. He's just trying to hit on the woman at the front counter. he's like, yeah, you really are a sexy one. She's like, is there anything I can help you with? He's like, yeah, you can help me with your hands. Meanwhile, all the guys are like, hey, please, could you? Yep, sorry, just trying to get past. Yep.
Wasserman also expresses deep regret, saying that these exchanges occurred, quote, long before Maxwell's horrific crimes came to light.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Newly released photos also show film director Brett Ratner, best known for the Rush Hour series and the new Melania documentary, posing with Epstein and two young women.
And posing is really like,
posing is. Yeah.
He's got his hands around her.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's been bad.
Yeah.
Now that's the look of the devil. Look at these two right here. Two demons. Jeff next to him. Look at them. Look at these guys. There's nothing in those eyes. It's just like two pinpoint. It's like when the police officer is shining the flashlight in your eyes. There's nothing there. That's what I see with these two guys.
Epstein had a lot of communication with business leaders. In a 2013 email exchange between Epstein and the billionaire Richard Branson, Branson writes this to Epstein.
Anytime you're in the area, would love to see you, as long as you bring your harem.
Like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
Hey, this really adds a whole new meaning to Virgin being the name of his companies.
This is, I think, really funny in light of, like Pizzagate style decoding. Like, we have a real fucking billionaire writing Epstein, bring your harem. It's not coded.
Yeah, Virgin Mobile does feel like a euphemism for what Epstein was doing.
He's looking for mobile virgins more than Virgin Mobile.
Yeah, they're doing worse things. Like the things that they have code words for are probably much, much more horrific.
Yeah, I mean, there's one that just says, I enjoyed the torture video. It's just like, there's just emails that are just so beyond the pale.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one that it just says, yeah, like, kill this guy. And it's like, yeah, we'll take care of it. No one fucks with you. Or even the one where he literally says, like that Ghislaine's father was killed because he was a problem to the Mossad. He just writes it. He writes it down. It's so fucking absurd.
Yeah.
It truly is shocking.
That is a subtle reason why, among many reasons why Pizzagate is stupid, is like if you're sacrificing children to Moloch, like you're not writing in code. You don't need to.
I think one of the biggest, things that is insane as well is, I mean, we're very familiar with like anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and how they can like just not quite understand structures of power or exclude, I guess, like structures of power so that their understanding can stay, coded along ethnic or religious or national lines. But like, this is the kind of shit that Jeffrey Epstein was writing other people. Quote, at my dinner table, I asked, quote, why are you right-wing guys so anti-Semitic? One said, historically, we all know it's actually been the Jews behind the governments actually pulling the strings. I said, like who? And one pointed at me and they all started to roar with laughter. Me? And one guy said, how do you explain in only 3 days there have been princes, prime, and other ministers, emissaries, plus 2 presidents of world bodies? Guilty! So funny. Wish you were here. So it's like, I mean, this is going to be a fucking issue. Between this and Israel, like, I mean, I'm sorry, but there's going to have to be a limit to, like, how much you can kind of, like, deny that there's, like, a kind of international conspiracy that happens to be staffed largely by Zionists who, by the way, in other emails discuss whether goys or no goys will be at this or that party. I don't know. It's really fucking shitty, ugly stuff that I wish, like, just wasn't right out there for everybody. And everyone's eating at the table.
I think Jake said this before. It is like oddly fitting that it is the Trump admin, that it like this was all released under a Chud administration, despite how like obviously liable the top of the head of the Chud administration is in relation to these files. There is something about like American conservatism immediately. This is a disastrous for them, but like Chud politics in general can turn this around, I think, is able to spin, especially how much files that they have, is able to spin something out of this, like to facilitate radicalization.
Yeah, I mean, imagine like reading all this shit and still being like, I'm a Zionist Christian, like I support Israel, but also like I'm reading about this shit. And what's interesting too is that there are, of course, like moments where you see that it's not the monolith that some would have it painted as. For example, when Ehud Barak was about to retire as prime minister of Israel, he discusses with Epstein the possibility of making money. And Epstein can barely fucking spell the name of the head of Palantir and is like, you should look into this company and this kind of stuff. So it's not like everything kind of originates from one central thing, but you can see the threads of history. It's like, oh, now Palantir plays a huge role. And that was the company that, you know, like Epstein was like, yeah, you should look into these guys. Like, you know, but he's misspelling the names. Like, you know, even he's not super familiar. He just knows they're on the inside track. So yeah, these like interconnected power structures, it's, you know, it's driving me completely insane.
Yeah.
It's so tough because it is so sinister, but it is so simple. It's just everybody wants to make money, and who's the easiest and like simplest way that you can make the most money, no matter who you fuck over, no matter how illegal it is. And like Epstein is the guy, and he's constantly just that's the guy. If you want to fucking go do something that's kind of dark and illegal, but there's a loophole or there's a guy who can get you the right connection so that you won't get in trouble, like there he is. We all had this guy in our fraternity, you know, the guy who's looks harmless, but he's secretly fucking slinging like pounds and pounds of, you know, DMT to 18 and 19-year-olds.
I mean, even like, you know, watching a show like House of Cards or something like that, there's a figure like this. It's called the fucking fixer. Like he was just possibly the world's top fixer, which means he had to make sure that money flowed back and forth, collect blackmail so that he can pull in favors, make sure that he stays powerful and in the mix, and also, of course, you know, cater to the tastes of the richest, most bored and sick of this like moneyed class, this disgusting capital accumulation, satanic den of pedophilia and sin.
Yeah.
I keep remembering back to sitting uncomfortably with Travis and Julian in Tom Arnold's dining room with our equipment set up, and we had brought our shit over there because that was the only way that we were going to talk to him. This was after we had 45 minutes of just like, we didn't even know if we were going to be able to do the episode, but then we sat down around that table and he was telling us, you know, all these rich guys, like they all do this. They all fuck children. You know, they say, oh, well, in Morocco, the age of consent is 15 years old. So like, that they all have already like long since found a way to explain away any guilt that they could have about, you know, this kind of violence. I just keep thinking about that. And it's like, wow. And it still took this long to come out. And it's like under the Trump administration, and like Liv said, he's one of the most prominent. It's just, how are we not living in some sort of simulation specifically designed to destroy both Julian and myself?
I do feel like one of the reasons why this can be like a chud like victory, that the release of this in the backdrop or the fallout of the files, is that like focusing too much on conspiracy theories can be just like missing the forest for the trees. That it's like, as Jake mentioned, it's like he was the guy you went to make money. That like there was a brutal economic, social, political structure that undergirds all of this, that makes it all possible. You can put all these people in jail. You can, you can oopsie them. You can make sure that they're all oopsied. And there will be more people who will come into the fold and take those positions.
Exactly. This is the natural effect and result of the set of circumstances. This system would produce this same result over and over without fail. I mean, if you structure the world this way, then of course this is the result.
In one email that Epstein sent to himself, Epstein wrote a note after an apparent fight with Bill Gates. Epstein alleged that Gates acquired a sexually transmitted disease from Russian sex workers. Epstein says this, addressing Gates.
To add insult to the injury, you implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. You request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your penis.
Okay, so somebody knew he was writing on the record.
Yeah.
Hey, these are all the things you've done. That's so awesome. What a fucking pathetic loser. I thought you were in charge of like worldwide pharma. Get your own antibiotics.
Yeah,
Get your
that's so
own
funny.
Plenty.
Can't get a plug.
Christ, description of your penis. Jesus.
Also, yeah, just the idea of like Bill Gates, like, a billionaire trying to find a way to sneak in antibiotics into Melinda's food or something.
Yeah, because he accidentally gave her gonorrhea.
Mr. Epstein, my penis hoits. My penis hoits and my wife is about to find out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that it's somewhere there's an email of Bill Gates being like, well, and there's some strange, colorful discharge just around the sort of base of the penile.
No.
Jeff, have you experienced this kind of discoloration or discharge before? And do you have something that I could poison my wife with so that she doesn't catch whatever thing that I have? And by the way, I'm going to call the new system Xbox Series X.
Do you have any extra small condoms and additionally?
I'm having trouble seeing both the pussy and the titties because my glasses aren't the right prescription.
It's so awful. That's worse. That this impression, this little riff is worse than any story you could have written.
I'm just so cooked. I'm so tired and I'm so dead just from... I don't know why. I mean, we always said it was always going to get worse, but to actually experience the worsening is, I'm just so fucking tired.
Mm-hmm.
The new documents also include exchanges between Elon Musk and Epstein, and they reveal that Musk has not been entirely truthful in regards to his association with Epstein. So last year, Elon Musk claimed this.
Epstein tried to get me to go to his island, and I refused.
Yeah, I think you're mistaking yourself with Norman Finkelstein, who has an incredible email being like, "Fuck all you guys, you bunch of fucking pedophiles," and also Fidel Castro, another person who had been seen in photos, and everyone was like, "Oh God, no, please." And then it turns out Epstein in the emails is, straight up saying, and I quote, "Fidel Castro died. Now a lot of possibilities for me." So Castro wasn't a friend.
Turns out Epstein did not like social safety nets and literacy programs for the global south. It really screws up his deal.
I mean, not to mention like pre-revolution, like Havana was like a huge hub for human trafficking, and like the Cuban Revolution like did a whole lot to specifically combat and get rid of that kind of exploitation like on their island. So
yeah.
Anyways, viva la revolucion, etc.
In his emails to Epstein, Elon Musk repeatedly asked about partying and visiting with Epstein. Now, strictly speaking, there's no evidence that Elon actually visited Little St. James, but if he didn't, it was because stated plans to visit never materialized. It wasn't because Elon didn't try.
It's because he's too fucking lame to even get on the...
Tell me that you have the line where he asks if he's R-worded. Like that's...
No, I didn't include that one.
You didn't include it?
Okay.
Come on. One of the best moments in all of the emails is Elon being so stupid he doesn't understand that he's talking about underage girls instead of whatever, like UN emissaries or whatever. And then he's like, no, of course, there's going to be nobody above 25. Do you think I'm retarded? Which he is literally too stupid to do the pedophilia.
The earliest email between Elon Musk and Epstein on the files date to September of 2012, when Musk, which by the way, in 2008, Epstein was convicted of soliciting a minor for prostitution. He was a registered sex offender, right? So it was not a secret. It's been known for years that this is a guy who abused children.
Oh, yeah.
And so Musk wrote that they had a
very enjoyable conversation.
Epstein writes back,
hopefully the first of many.
I'm so disappointed that the Epic Island vacation email was fake. Because I saw that circulating around where Elon Musk wants to go on an Epic Island vacation. And then they're like, oh, he's lame. He's too lame. Let's not invite him.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. Yeah, it's like there was one email exchange that was totally faked in which Elon says something about girls for to win. And then like Ghislaine says like, oh, you know what? We're just wrapping up the Little St. James operation, as if they're trying to give him the brush off. That's one of those things that is strictly speaking false, but, directionally directionally correct. It does sort of
Ecstatic truth.
Yes,
Yes.
it sort of does communicate the vibe between Epstein and Elon.
She's like, sorry, the Squid Games are now closed.
The world has gotten so bad that we've gotten Travis to now respect directionally correct as like something.
I mean,
something valuable.
Yeah.
In November of 2012, Epstein asked Musk how many people would heli to island, as in take a helicopter to Little St. James, to which Musk responded, referring to his then-wife Tallulah Riley.
Probably just Tallulah and me. What day/night will be the wildest party on your island?
Oh, he's such a fucking loser.
This is so fucking funny. He's so stupid. He's like, yeah, absolutely. Come hang out with us. Like, let's rape some kids. And he's like, cool, I'm bringing my girlfriend. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, he's literally too stupid.
I went to this like Smash Bros thing that was big in Vancouver because I was like, oh, it should be fun, and it was definitely like the most uncomfortable I've been in almost the most uncomfortable. Like, people are very awkward. It was fun to watch, but afterwards there was this like official boat cruise like that the organizer was hosting, and like obviously immediately that is like the place that you go if you don't get an invite to any actual parties. You know, you're like, I'll pay $100 to go on the official boat cruise, and like,
of course.
it really feels like somehow this is like the billionaire version of that boat cruise. That it's just like, yo, I wanted some fucking sick parties. I'm a billionaire. I can pay for this.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the email that made me appreciate just like the extent of the emptiness inside of Elon Musk. So this is an email that Musk sent to Epstein at around 6 a.m. on Christmas morning in 2012. Now, at this time, Musk had 5 children. His twins were 8 years old, and his triplets were 6 years old. Now, this is what he emailed this registered sex offender before the sun broke on Christmas morning.
Do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year, and so once my kids head home after Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for.
He's like, it's so funny. I mean, it truly
I'm
is.
so stressed. I just want to get out there and party.
I think he is a type of Trump in their circles too, right? Where it's just like, don't invite him. And I think like Jeff Bezos at the very least is not trying to get in on the action, you know? He's like, I've got my own like, you know, Pasha party, like big titty Latina parties that I'm going to. Like, I'm not emailing anybody lonely at 6 a.m., you know, on Christmas when I'm having to hang out with my children for more than an hour.
Yeah, he does seem like an actual frat bro billionaire. Like, he's not the one who has to
Awful
buy
human being.
Yeah, totally.
Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
That is the last time I remember texting something like that is like when I was, 17 or 18 years old, like on the, being like, where's the biggest party at on the road?
Yeah.
It does feel like a lot of this is a byproduct of the fact that like the best way to make a shit ton of money is by being a nerd. That like we're all ruled by fucking nerds now. Palantir, Lord of the Rings reference.
Yep.
They're like, how do I use my insane amount of influence to like be able to buy 16-year-olds?
But instead of being like soft and sensitive and like understanding of, whatever, they want to emulate like the worst fraternity guy that bullied them in college and become that.
I'm sure that's Elon. It's funny, Elon actually went to Queen's University, which is the university I went to. There's a photo of him in like Vic Hall. And I can see like he must have been like the most annoying engineer loser and like, not invited to any parties, and he's just working out that complex continually. He's like, now I'm the cool guy because I have money.
Yeah, didn't he brag about like never going to therapy ever or something like that?
I'm sure.
There's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, here's just what kills me is that like, being a parent is, full of ups and downs, full of like sublime joy and grinding boredom. But what I think one of the most reliable sources of joy is when you have kids between the ages of say 5 and 10, and it's Christmas Day, especially when you have like a little bit of money saved up so you can show them something really cool. You can really share in that kind of really genuinely innocent excitement and wonder of like simple things like toys and lights and whatever. And here he has 5 kids, age 6 and 8, and he is a billionaire. He could show them anything. He could hire a private jet to fly to the North Pole. He could give them an amazing experience on Christmas Day, unparalleled, and share in that joy. But in Christmas morning, he's not thinking about that. He's thinking about leaving and to party with a pedophile. It is just so fucking sad.
It was very disappointing to see that none of the children knew what it was when they opened their presents and they found that they were all short positions in IBM.
In the middle of the night, I had some of my top-level scientists come in and implant Neuralink into all of their brains. And I have there's an app now on my phone. I put them to sleep and I fly to the island for wild parties. I'm not interested in a peaceful experience, but the wildest. I put them to sleep and I come back and I wake them up.
There must have been some internal debates of like, okay, this guy's very stupid. I don't think we should actually like bring him in for the more, like, he's too volatile and stupid. Maybe don't admit that we're full pedophiles, just like we're like youngish girl party people, you know, like let's go to St. Bart's, you know, instead of like, no, come to the island. Like we have, I mean, understand what we have here.
Does he even see himself as a pedophile? I feel like he's just like, I'm hanging out with girls.
Well, first of all, he's a libertarian, so no, he doesn't see himself as a pedophile.
Yeah, he's just like, everyone loves girls. Like, what's the problem? Where are you gonna...
Well, sometimes you'll find that the biological clock of a young girl doesn't quite match the age of consent in the specific territory in which you find yourself. Tallulah, are you awake? I knew I shouldn't have given you the Xannies.
But like, I could just imagine somebody saying like, Elon, like you've been hanging out or talking with Jeff Epstein. Like, don't you know that he's like a pedophile? And Elon being like, oh, I'm pretty sure not. You know what I mean? Like, he's just
You have to understand ephibophilia is a very different disorder than pedophilia.
It's a question of perspective. If you understand the problem, it's a math problem, really.
By the way, it's like this is, I think, also kind of clarifies why exactly Vivian Wilson, who is Elon Musk's eldest, disowned him. You know, it's like, I mean, she didn't know this at the time, probably, but like just generally, the general attitude of like being more willing to communicate with a pedophile in order to plan a party rather than spending time with your own child Christmas morning. I don't know, just clarifies that relationship for me.
Yeah, could be a bit of that, and could be a bit of you're actually dead instead of like accepting your transition. You're actually dead. Like, I have a dead child. Like, I'd say that also might have been an issue between them.
So Musk and Epstein seemed to try one more time to arrange a visit to Island. So this was a year later, in December of 2013. Musk asked,
"We'll be in British Virgin Islands / St. Bart's area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit?"
Epstein replied,
"I will send heli for you."
After a series of back and forth emails on scheduling, Epstein emailed to cancel.
Bad news. Unfortunately, my schedule will keep me in New York. I was really looking forward to finally spending some time together with just fun as the agenda, so I am very disappointed. Hopefully, we can schedule another time in the near future.
It's awesome because you can tell what emails Epstein is lying in because he actually finishes sentences.
Types well, yeah.
Surprisingly formal.
Yeah, there's all the like telltale spaces of like, oh shit, I should edit that to say something a bit different. You know, it's really incredible.
It's like period so, and the S is lowercase because there's something before actually.
Yes, yeah, always for sure. It was a bunch of cut and paste, and he probably had someone else write it for him. But I guess we know the result of that insider conversation about whether we should let this guy in and whether we can capture enough blackmail on him fast enough that he can be part of our gang, or whether it's just going to be a sticky, annoying situation where he keeps bringing his girlfriend because he hasn't fucking read between the lines and decoded anything in our emails.
Naturally, because of these emails, people started accusing Elon Musk of being a repulsive loser, a pedophile, and a repulsive loser to other pedophiles.
Damn.
In response, he forcefully pushed back against the allegations that he's a loser. He tweeted this.
"If I actually wanted to spend my time partying with young women, it would be trivial for me to do so without the help of a creepy loser like Epstein, and I would still have 99% of my mind available to think about other things. But I don't."
Young women.
What?
It's an interesting choice of words. This is like a response that's like almost as bad as the Drake one of like the Epstein line's what I expected. It's really not getting ahead of it.
I would still have 99% of my mind available to so he's like, with 1% I could fuck a child.
I'll have you know that even though I was refused at the entrance of Pedophile Berghain, I never wanted to dance there.
You know, pedophiles usually only use 1% of their brain to fuck the child.
Yes, normally it takes 10%, but I only use 1, and the other 99% is thinking about other children that I would like to fuck.
It's fucking like, fucking like taking the limitless pill for pedophilia.
That's a crazy response.
I know. Yeah, it's like, I'm not a fucking loser. I could totally fucking party with women. I just don't want to.
Yeah, I could totally be a pedophile without Epstein.
You see how insecure he is about being a fucking loser, that like as a narcissist, that's like how he was wounded most.
Yeah. I was invited.
He's just hard on the sleeve. He really shows you how easy it is to piss him off and exactly how to do it.
Now, we have to talk about the revelation that Epstein personally met Christopher Poole, aka Moot, the creator of the image board 4chan. And further, this meeting seemed to happen like around the same day, possibly the same day, that Poole created 4chan's poll board, which is of course the birthplace of QAnon and a lot of other online reactionary political culture.
Ha ha hee hee.
Yeah, this is a part of the like, I know people are now saying, oh, Poole is like a Mossad.
I know.
But like, I actually don't understand why. I think Epstein was just like, I like destroying things and making things worse. I think it's funny. Maybe it's like almost the same instinct that some like Pepes have on Poole, where it's just like, it's fun being in on stuff and making things worse for your own delight, I guess. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine the long-term game here.
Yeah, I wish there were more details. I'm so fascinated.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about why they were even interested in Moot.
It could be 100 things. I do see like a lot of people online say that because there's this meeting, well, that definitely means that, QAnon is some sort of psychological operation, and it could be. I mean, but we would need to know more about the context, because it could also be that they're chatting and Poole is saying, I have this idea about doing this political board where it's kind of like, real, just disgust, and whatever. And Epstein goes, dude, that's fucking awesome. I love that idea. Fucking do that, dude.
Yeah, they're all just like intellectual dark web kind of guys.
That's
and
it.
Like,
yeah,
the exchange is fucking sick, and you can make that. You can do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think so too. I think he kind of just wanted to post. I mean, a lot of them probably did want to post. It's like, where can they put their worst ideas? The real things that they believe in. This is one answer.
It is a good example of like getting too lost in the weeds with conspiracy stuff. That like saying like, oh well, QAnon is a psyop that explains it, doesn't really explain why QAnon did so well. And it's like because people want that sort of shit, because it clearly worked on people's brains.
It certainly adds color to that moment.
Yeah.
And to Moot, and the fact that he was on the radar clearly of multiple, I think, intelligence agencies. So I mean, that's something that's never been a doubt, is like the amount of like backdoors, the amount of organizations, even like Signal, like that receive funding from some of these kind of gray sources. I think a lot of it is just like, hey, as long as you build in a backdoor, we ain't coming for you. That's why Pavel Durov like had to eat such shit compared to everybody else who made like a quote unquote encrypted platform for your phone, because he wasn't on the inside. There was no meeting with him.
Right. And I mean, Poole resigned, right? Didn't he resign before Q, like long before,
he stepped
right?
off, he like sold it or stepped out pretty early. He's working at like Google or something.
Right. He was working at Google. My vague recollection is that he left shortly after Gamergate, that he started implementing some kind of like rules on 4chan that people really didn't like.
He banned Gamergate, and they all those guys fled to 8chan at the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. That ideology seems probably adjacent to the Epstein, intellectual dark web stuff, just like edgy exchange of ideas, like very chud coded, but not absurdly chud coded, not like.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who's, building something like Silk Road or 4chan or certain apps or whatever, they're going to be on the radar. Like, people are going to kind of pay attention to that, especially, seeing him kind of go right back into that complex and get a job like at Google or whatever after like having led the most like insane kind of movement and being so defiant. I mean, you just see them capitulate.
Like the Nazis getting hired at NASA after World War II.
Let's just say they all get to sit down where they get to see the angle of the Zapruder tape that the that no one else gets to see.
But the idea, though, that I have seen floated around that I think is like ridiculous and people should check themselves is the idea that Epstein went to Poole saying, hey, I have an idea for a government insider op that we are going to use 5 years from now, however many years from now, to basically conform, Republicans to, we're going to create this so that they'll ignore Trump's own pedophilia and have that plan work out so it just, I'm sorry, there's just no world.
Not enough was aligned at the time.
Yeah, there's just no world where things go that according to plan. Because every major corporation, and certainly every entertainment corporation and every influencer, if they had a tried and true method of what was going to go viral, everything would be going viral. They would be using it.
Mm-hmm.
In a 2011 email, Boris Nikolak, who is a former advisor to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, tells Epstein he had been in San Francisco and met interesting people, then singles out Christopher Poole, emphasizing his youth, he was 23 at the time, and sharing a Wikipedia link, describing Poole as a cool guy, kid Epstein should meet. And the poll board was, according to the official history, was created on October 23rd. The next day, on the 24th, Boris Nikolak asked Epstein, how did you like Moot? To which Epstein replied,
I like Moot a lot. I drove him home. He is very bright.
Which is like such a good anti-cosign for Moot that they had a quote-unquote deep conversation. Probably, just about like freedom of information, ideas.
Well, people are very used to, catering to the feelings of people like Epstein in conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
The emails indicate that they met again on January 29th, 2012, and then a month after that, Moot wrote to someone, quote, hope to see Jeffrey in New York.
Yeah.
And that's basically everything that the files reveal about their interactions. And yes, it's like from this strange timing coincidence, people have made the conclusion that Epstein had a hand in creating Poll. I don't know. I think that goes beyond the evidence. So according to Christopher...
I mean, it's very possible that...
I ain't ruling anything out anymore, fellas.
I'm not ruling anything out either.
It kind of doesn't matter at some level. It's like,
who cares?
We'll never know.
Who cares? Who needs to police this?
For whatever reason, somebody thought that Epstein would like to be in contact with the guy who was running the biggest anonymous message board on, I mean, there was a reason that somebody wanted to introduce the two of them.
Well, probably because they were like building in a fucking backdoor, like everything else, I don't know. It's like more believable to me that there's being a kind of discussions of backdoors and ways that Poole can be useful to intelligence rather than Epstein came up with the poll board.
Yeah, absolutely. That seems very plausible. Here's a system that's already in place that we don't have to build, that we can use. Let's figure out how easy the kid is to mold.
Yeah, especially like if you consider it a kind of net, right, where it's like, okay, well, we let people post whatever they want, we make them feel that they're completely anonymous. However, if we're interested in anybody, Poole will just pull the IP and we can get that person's home. Yeah. And now we have the initial potential blackmail like stuff based on the post and et cetera. It's a great way to build like sources, and it's obviously he's a great asset to have. So
yeah,
something tells me, I think it's I'm not going to go so far, but maybe considering this is like his onboarding as an asset with Epstein as his handler or someone else.
If that's true, then if intelligence agencies can pull any IP, then we have to assume that there is a department somewhere in the government that knows exactly who wrote every single QAnon post, right?
Oh, there definitely is. There's no way that they are behind the curve on that. They at least have vague information. But again, I think the way that these people operate is not, let's go and make a big splashy bust and say this was Q and we caught him. They go, how can you continue to do what you're doing and help us? Because that's how informants work. Like police will let the criminal continue to do the crimes as long as it's a way for them to have leverage in situations that involves like local power brokering.
I'm feeling an uneasiness.
Oh, really? Just starting now?
Yeah, no, and it's just it just feels like the story is now bigger than it was, a couple weeks ago. Just in regards to my own personal interest in QAnon from a work and personal standpoint. But there's an uneasiness there,
Yeah, I think there always has been, and I think that there is a lot that is still hidden to us about what intelligence agencies knew and when.
And what they facilitated as well.
Yeah, what they facilitated, what they used to their advantage. But my best guess is, they they're aware of the people involved, and the people that were relevant enough have been co-opted, even if it's just to have them be quiet and continue to feed them IP addresses of people or this and that and the other.
According to Christopher Poole, in online statements and interviews, Poll was created as a containment board. Earlier that year in January, he had deleted the board new because it wasn't discussing news as was his original intention. It was just sort of like a place where people just sort of like were racist. And he wanted a board that could help prevent bigoted or inflammatory political posting from spilling out onto the boards.
Okay, new theory.
Yeah.
New theory, Epstein wrote all the 4chan posts. They contained him to that board.
Yeah.
I mean, so the creation of this board was like, I mean, it was a long time coming in 2011. I don't know. I think it's at the very least interesting. I don't think there's really anything really substantial you could conclude from this strange timing, but I don't know. I think it's worth thinking and investigating more. I hope Christopher Poole at least addresses the timing and his relationship with Epstein.
Epstein's like, he's sitting down at that meeting and he's like, dude, so I have this fucking picture. And it's me spreading my ass like as far fucking open as I can. And like, I can't fucking post it on Facebook. I'll get fucking banned. I can't fucking post it on Twitter. He's like, it'd be fucking dope if there was a place where I could just fucking like post that shit. Cause like, it is really dope.
Christopher Poole logging on to GoDaddy to make sure he can do the .cx. Oh, I mean, it is like, I think there's one thing that I would probably venture to say is true, is that Epstein has probably posted to 4chan a few times, which makes me think that there is an existence out there. Epstein penned green text posts, and I would fucking kill to see those.
They were a posting power couple, Ghislaine and Epstein.
Yeah, Ghislaine's Reddit.
Be me, be in a fucking submarine, be Stephen Hawking next to me asleep.
Yeah, that's the idea that like Ghislaine Maxwell ran the Maxwell Hill sort of like power user account.
World News Mod as well.
Yeah, it was kind of like a mod. It's one of those things where it's like the evidence is like suggestive and strange, but it's like I wouldn't say it's conclusive.
Fuck it, I'm on board. Who cares?
All right.
Yeah.
I also want to talk some of like the strange, disturbing entries in this new release. For example, in 2009, Jeffrey Epstein emailed someone unknown, and the email address is redacted. And Epstein said, "Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video."
Which, like, are they redacting a victim there? A survivor? Like, I mean, maybe, I guess.
No, yeah,
But,
a lot of
like-
the time it's not like that.
I don't know.
Also, the way he's talking here, it's probably like, I don't know, somebody sent him a video of someone being really, really uncomfortable, or, you know, it could easily just be like, I don't know,
Yeah.
this one doesn't seem as specific.
I don't know. It's true. It could
Yeah.
have a sort of a less than the sort of like nefarious implication.
Could
but
be
it's
a
just
porn somebody's sending him, you know?
Yeah, at this point, do we really need to know that like nefarious things were happening? Like, or
Yeah,
the
I guess
specifics,
that.
or whether a specific email is actually proof of a nefarious deed? Like, at this point, all of this stuff kind of starts to
Yeah.
just float in a large field of objects, kind of
Yeah.
twistering through the sky.
I'm starting to think this Epstein guy fucked kids.
I
Yeah, I'm
know.
starting to think he was into like, you know, sadistically torturing, raping, and killing potentially children.
But this is what happens, is that we're given a little peek into this world, and we see how sick and depraved it is. And we want to know it all. We want to have a complete picture that we'll just never have. And so we're forced to sort of do these deep readings on every single little communication they have, hoping to get a further glimpse into what's really happening.
I mean, this next one I think is a little more direct.
Yes, this one's strange. And there's this other one that's very disturbing. So in 2014, someone emailed Jeffrey Epstein this.
I give you permission to kill him. He is apparently with Olga. He lied to you and he lied to me. Sent from my iPhone.
Jeez. To which Epstein replied, "Whoops." And then this individual replied back this.
No one will lie to you and get away with it from me. No one. Whoops is correct. Sent from my iPhone. See, this is what I mean. Whoops. It's just like their code word for like, looks like another person that was accusing somebody slipped off the mortal coil. Looks like those Kevin Spacey accusers
Yeah.
got whoops.
Okay.
Do you think maybe, though, it's whoops, you shouldn't, like, let people know that I kill people in email?
No, he's saying whoops is correct, as in that's going to be our solution. No one
Yeah,
will lie to you
whoops
and get
is
away with
correct.
it from me. No one. Whoops is correct.
Yeah.
Or it's just a lazy response, you know? I don't know. What's interesting about this entry is that the name of the sender was like they tried to redact it, but it was kind of like poorly redacted. The bottom of the letters of the name are kind of visible. And from this, some people online have suspected that the redacted name belongs to someone named Susan Hamblin, which I have to confess, that does seem right to me. I'm with
yeah, let's go.
All right. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
Good bake.
Let's
Good
go.
bake. We like it.
I mean, it's like the letters line up, and Sue Hamblin is an Epstein associate. Sue Hamblin is in the little black book. So this sort of like this checks out for me. And furthermore, so Susan Hamblin, she's a UK interior designer. And what's interesting is
a femme fatale.
Okay.
the British publication The Sun published articles claiming that Susan Hamblin had groomed and procured a 16-year-old girl to be sexually abused by Epstein, and had told this girl that Epstein would kill her and her family if she told anyone what Epstein had done. And the article said that while the girl was being sexually assaulted by Epstein, Hamblin ignored her cries for help, and when the assault was over, paid her $500.
They gotta whoops
Yeah.
everyone involved in this.
Yeah, there's a few whoops.
They really gotta. There's gotta be a lot of whoopses going on.
Yeah, we need some reversing the whoopsie, playing the little Uno card that reverses the arrows.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing. So Hamblin successfully sued The Sun and got the publication to withdraw the articles and pay Hamblin compensation and legal costs. Now, the UK, they have some really obnoxious libel laws that make it really easy for people with resources to sue outlets or even just individuals when they say things they don't like. But I think in light of these emails, I'm thinking that those allegations are a lot more credible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to caution one thing. I saw a lot of posts saying that Susan Hamblin was the founder of the adoption agency Kids Two Families, and this is obviously
two
crazy.
kids, too furious.
Oh my god! Listen, Epstein is direct communication with an adoption agency. Is this another vector for procuring children? So I looked into this, and the president of the agency was actually a woman named Susan Hamblin Lawrence, who is an American woman, completely different from the British Epstein associate.
Unlucky.
Yes, Susan Mary Hamblin. So
Cleared.
different people.
That is unlucky. We found like the woman version of being named Jeffrey Epstein. You know, there's that Twitter account of the guy whose just name is Jeffrey Epstein, unrelated.
Yes, yes. Now, what about Epstein's alleged connections to Israeli intelligence? So there is a short exchange where Epstein tells former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, "You should make clear that I don't work for Mossad," smiley face emoji.
Wow, interesting.
And then Barak says, "You or I," and Epstein clarifies that I don't, smiley face emoji. Which,
Bro,
come on.
I'm dead that like the PM is like, wow, what if they thought I worked for the intelligence of the country I run?
You or I?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but this is also not the only proof. There was the whole like Jim Acosta sweetheart deal quote where the quote was like, this person is,
belongs to intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some suggestive stuff, at least in this dump. Now, as first reported by Dropsite News, the newest batch of documents also includes a recording of Ehud Barak and Epstein talking about Peter Thiel's company Palantir, and like both Barak and Epstein kind of struggle to spell it.
Neither of them Lord of the Rings fans, I guess.
Yeah.
That is Goyslop.
He thought there was two cyber companies. Look out, and even though I know Peter, I've never met Peter Thiel, and everybody says he sort of jumps around and acts sort of strange. Like he's on drugs.
Smoking, yeah. He looks under drugs.
However, he has a company called Palantir. Pallen Tier. Palantir is Peter Thiel's company. And look out.
Palantir, Palantir?
Yes.
Incredible.
How you write Thiel? Thiel.
Thiel.
Yeah. LLY.
No. Thiel.
My God. He got everything wrong.
I love that everything they're spelling each time they spell it is a different iteration.
Yeah.
Like they get it wrong.
Yeah. They're getting it wrong every single time and in different ways.
and agreeing wrongly.
Yeah.
You can't even remember how they spelled it.
It's also amazing. They're like, yeah, I don't really know. He seems to be flitting here and there. Like he's on drugs. Like, have you ever heard of this type of gay chemsex? It seems like he is on the drug of being gay, and so we cannot control him very easy. He does not need help throwing twinks off of his 80th floor apartment balcony.
It's just like, oh my God. It's like the people who run the world literally sound like my grandparents trying to like understand the pharmacist on a landline. You know what I mean?
What is this a podcast? QAnon Anonymous. How do you spell this?
There's also an email from Epstein to someone redacted alleging that Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who was definitely a Mossad agent, threatened Mossad.
From me. Sent Thursday, March 15th, 2018 at 1:22 p.m. Subject: he was passed away.
Huh.
Robert Maxwell threatened Mossad. He told him that unless they gave him $400 million to save his crumbling empire, he would expose all he had done for them. In that time, he had free access to Margaret Thatcher's Downing Street, Ronald Reagan's White House, to the Kremlin, and to the corridors of power throughout Europe. Maxwell passed on all the secrets he learned to Mossad in Tel Aviv. In turn, they tolerated his excesses, vanities, and insatiable appetite for a luxurious lifestyle and women. He told his controllers who they should target and how they should do it. He appointed himself as Israel's unofficial ambassador to the Soviet bloc.
So it seems like he has a lot of inside information about like chatter within Mossad.
Yeah.
He was passed away. They did it. They did it on the yacht. They did it on the Lady Ghislaine. And then he recruited her as his like long-term, he moved in because it was, a person who'd been around these circles forever. And I mean, it's not even uncommon for some of these people to feed their own children into the meat grinders. So it's not like I'm surprised, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Also, the Epstein in the emails, he really throws a bone to the anti-Semites. Now, I think it's already established Epstein, not a credit to the Jewish people, but he also doesn't do any further favors in these emails.
Not one of our best.
No. There are better examples of the community, certainly.
We're not sending our best. Jeffrey Epstein and Jared Fogle, both famous pedophiles, both dead.
So yeah, Epstein, in a couple instances, used the word kind of like goyim, kind of like derisively referring to non-Jews. In a August 2010 email exchange about a Yom Kippur-themed event, Petty Siegel asked whether it will be a 100% Jew night, and Epstein replies,
"No. Goyim in abundance. JP Morgan execs, brilliant wasps."
There's a second document that quotes Epstein describing like trading profits and says this.
"Let the Goyim deal in the real world."
Which is, I don't know, which is a real Der Sturmer level kind of like exchange. It's really awful.
I should say, I mean, my parents really never said goy. I never heard goyim, but goy was thrown around pretty casually in Jewish circles. But it wasn't like a swear. It was kind of just like, I never was taught that it was like, a really like a horrible thing to say. It was just kind of funny that there was a name for like people who weren't Jewish.
Yeah.
Epstein does seem like a type of guy who would read the protocols and be like, I'm fucking one of those guys. I'm so cool.
I'm so dope. Yeah. They got me.
So yeah, the idea that he can be in on something and be a part of a cool secret group. It's like, the Japanese reading the protocols and trying to be allies, trying to be fellow Semitic.
Yes,
it's like,
they're like, damn, these people are good at organizing themselves.
Yeah, get on their good side.
Yeah, combined with like the email that I read earlier, I mean, you kind of get to see his kind of like, ha ha ha, oh wow, I guess it is kind of true, ha ha ha, kind of approach to it, even when he's dealing with right-wing people who he knows are anti-Semitic. But since everybody's at the table and they're all part of the same class and they're all part of the same power structure, it's like, yeah, sometimes it's a mix of people, sometimes it's Jewish people, like, it doesn't matter because we're all laughing. We're all laughing at the table about, that it's kind of true.
Yeah, it's a good example of the general relation between, like, I think, like, rich, wealthy right-wing Jews in America and, like, just the evangelical right. It's like, yeah, they're all anti-Semitic, but, like, haha, it's kind of fine right now.
Yeah. So are we when it comes to people who are educated at New York schools.
Yeah.
Some of the documents also revealed some more information about Epstein's gaming habits. I mean, he wasn't just involved in, microtransactions. In 2010, Jeffrey Epstein created a Battle.net account and activated a free trial of World of Warcraft. So if you played World of Warcraft in 2010, you may have gone on a raid with Jeffrey Epstein.
He was like, I want to see if I can, like, meet fucking more girls here in traffic. He's like, maybe this is an untapped resource.
No, Jeffrey Epstein had, like, 2 accounts. One of them's, like, level 18, and the other one's his attempt at a different class that got to level 3, and he got bored.
Uh-oh, this kind of sounds like my gaming habits.
In December of 2013, an email shows that Epstein was banned from Xbox Live due to harassment, threats, and abuse of other players.
Due to not providing Bill Gates with the cream for his penis.
I like the idea that he was the only one on Xbox who's actually telling the truth when he was like, I know the CEO, I'm gonna fucking get you banned, bro.
Yeah, it's probably true. I looked up like what was the most popular multiplayer shooter in 2013, and it was Call of Duty Ghosts. So very possible that's what he was playing.
Now the problem is that he couldn't threaten, I'm gonna fuck your mother. You have to say I'd fuck your sister.
Oh, damn. Ice cold.
So, I mean, I think the contents of these documents, they obviously don't tell everything that was going on. There's so much. I feel so frustrated. But they're still pretty scandalous. But believe it or not, people are still they're still trying to do like Pizzagate with them. So some people made hay out of the fact that pizza, according to the search function of the FBI website, appears in the DOJ files 909 times, but like mostly is stuff like in appropriate context, like let's grab pizza, stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't need a code. They can talk about raping children openly. They don't need the code words.
Yeah.
And when they do use them, they seem to be completely ad hoc. Like someone's like, I'm sending you fresh muffins. Do you have my 2 steaks on the island? So it's like, if you had found the code, then why are they still using a bunch of other code? Like, that doesn't seem to be this idea of like a kind of agreed upon code, as we know, like goes back to a joke on like 4chan about the words C and P. Like Captain Picard, cheese pizza, child porn, etc.
I think people just want to bake. Again, where it's like, what are you discovering? That Epstein fucked kids? Like, we already, it's all out there. You don't need to bake anything.
Searching for pizza and like right above and right below the mention of pizza that you're like cutting out and quoting without any context, it just says like, are you bringing the child for me to have sex with?
And just for fun, I ran searches of other foods, and the ones that I searched didn't get mentioned 909 times or anything close to it. Now, the word banana was mentioned over 300 times, but a lot of those were like ad emails that were coming to Jeffrey from Banana Republic, so nothing really to dive into there. But the pizza stuff, I really encourage you to read the things behind me, take a look at the people who were saying these things, and just tell me what you think. Do you think these 909 mentions of pizza were totally innocent? You know, you are so QAnon right now, Pizzagate is not real. I really do want to hear your opinion on it. This took a lot of time reading through all of this, and I haven't even gotten through all 909 because that's going to take a while, and I just started this morning.
Guys and gals, I think the liberals are going to speedrun QAnon.
Yeah. Although that lady seemed to actually be a QAnon believer.
Yeah.
The quality of vetting on Threads. Now, Blue Sky seems a little bit better, but I didn't know so many people were on Threads. And the vetting of the information on there is like, it doesn't seem like there are any news people, like any journalists. It just kind of seems like it's people just sharing other people's opinions as news.
Yeah, the community vetting is just like the local insane person. There's not even like a community in the way that there was a community like even 5 or 6 years ago on these sites.
No, yeah. And like within a week of it getting taken over, you have like big Palestinian activists just having their accounts fucking disappeared, even though they had like millions of followers and stuff. So, you know, I think we all know what's happening here. Crackdown.
Yeah, and notice like in the wake of this, I saw a lot of comments like, "Oh, well, yeah, now these emails they've proven like Bannon's behind QAnon." It's like, where the fuck are you getting this?
Yeah, there's a lot of claims going on, and there's a lot of bullshit just being resurfaced, like old videos, like old Pizzagate stuff. It's all getting mixed up in the big churn of garbage.
The frustrating thing is, it doesn't even like all those revelations don't actually help you fight power in any way. It's like you still, it's
of course not.
Cat's out the bag. They're all fucking pedophiles. We know this objectively. You don't need to bake about it, but it's just like I think everyone is QAnon now because like we realized that the success with QAnon made people realize that like they don't actually have to be beholden to the truth. You just say things that feel good to your side, and like that is especially manifested now. That was always the case among like online right spaces, but now like even the lib and left spaces, the Tyler Robinson stuff, the fact that people still think he's a Pepe like Nick Fuentes guy, because it's like, well, it sucks that he's not a Pepe Nick Fuentes guy, so like he just is. And that's just it's like nothing, the truth does not matter in these spaces anymore. It's an info war. everyone is Alex Jones. Like all information is completely tactical, including the information that
Except
you
that
believe.
Alex Jones is now like a pro pedophile.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, we love the black helicopters. We love the unmarked vans. We love the
Alex Jones, he's pivoted to basically the official regime conspiracist, which is incredible.
Awesome, dude. Little clown brought to heel.
That is like a market for like a right wing, like a 2003 Alex Jones right now would be going crazy.
Yeah, he just didn't realize which side of the information war he would end up on.
Yeah.
But boy, I think this email cache, I feel like is really going to be a source of, just speculation and derangement for the rest of the year, because it is a lot of documents. And again, it reveals a lot more, but not everything. And God, it's just so agonizing that we don't know everything. So we are going to be, people are going to be pouring through these 3.5 million documents for the next, for years to come, I bet.
Yeah.
I guess ask yourself, like, what do these people have in common? The Dalai Lama, Bobby Kotick, Ehud Barak, like what do all these people have in common? And surprise, it's not going to be along gender or even national lines. These are powerful, rich people that are part of the upper class that rule us. And it's a free-for-all, folks. I, for one, volunteer my adrenochrome first. Take it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the freshest. But you know what? It has a certain musk. It's been aged in a cask.
The joie de vivre.
Yeah. He's good. Yeah, you've got the bone white cask. Thanks for listening to another episode of the QAA podcast. You can go to patreon.com/QAA and subscribe for $5 a month to get a whole second premium episode for every regular episode, plus access to our entire archive of premium episodes. There's a lot.
Hey, everybody, go check out cursedmedia.net. It's my only wish for the Christmas that has already passed, so you owe me. You can go there and sign up for a yearly fee and get access to all of our mini-series, including during that year that you've signed up for, 3 new mini-series. We've already dropped 2 fresh ones. We have the whole archive. Go check it out, cursedmedia.net.
And for everything else, we've got a website. That's QAApodcast.com. Liv, where can people see more of your stuff?
Yeah, I have a Twitch stream, twitch.tv/LeVegar, and also a newsletter, levegar.com.
Folks, what are you waiting for? Check them out. Until next week, I guess. Until the next 2 million documents are dumped. May the deep dish, may that deep dish bless you and keep you. Oh, big time. Oh, I hope it's blessing you and keeping you real close right now, folks. Times are tough. Don't lose hope.
On the toilet.
I came into, I was birthed into this episode with a scream. I leave with a scream.
We have auto-queued content based on your preferences.
The other tech companies are trying to build artificial intelligence. The strangest thing that they found, one of the strangest things, is that the systems that they design, this artificial intelligence, which a lot of people have heard about, is they design a bunch of systems. They're called neural nets. The term simply taken out of brain work, neurons in the brain. Nets because they actually look like a net. They put in some inputs. The computers work, spit out an answer. Sounds normal to you. It's because you're thinking about that calculator you had in 1976 on your desk. When you ask the person who designed the system, how did it come to that answer? How did your neural net, can you show me the calculations? They say, no, we don't know. We don't know how the thing we designed actually came up with that answer. That's pretty strange. They take the same neural net now and they put it in front of a video game. No learning, nothing. They said to the computer, they say, sit in front of your video game and learn how to play. It seems the computer learns better than any human in history, faster than any human in history, beats any human in history, but when you ask the designer how did it do it, no one knows. It just did it. So that's the first little touch of things that we already have gotten to a place where we don't understand it, and we built it.